parents decided to cancel my 14th birthday party to accommodate my spoiled younger brother. Reinstated it when I told everyone at school. My brother has autism, high functioning, diagnosed when he was 4, and from that moment forward, my parents treated that diagnosis like a blank check he could cash whenever he wanted. I want to be clear, I never resented him for having autism. I resented my parents for using it as an excuse to let him bulldoze through every single person in our house, including me. Whatever I owned, he needed a copy of. Whatever I wanted, he got first. When I was 11, I begged for a handheld gaming console for my birthday. Got one. Was immediately told I had to hand it over to my brother whenever he asked, or it would be taken away from me. And it was taken away multiple times, right out of my hands. My aunt visited once and watched my parents physically pry it away from me mid-game to give to him. She tore into them so hard they returned it that same day, then blamed me for causing a scene after she left. My birthdays were the one thing I had that were actually mine. Every other day of the year revolved around my brother. His schedule, his moods, his demands. Birthdays were supposed to be different, except my brother never saw it that way. He'd lose it at birthday parties because he wasn't the center of attention. No gifts for him, no candles to blow out, and suddenly the whole event collapsed into damage control. My parents got kicked out of other kids' parties trying to manage him. Eventually, nobody at his school invited him anymore. My 13th birthday, he spent the entire party sulking. My parents actually pulled me aside and asked if I'd let him blow out my candles because he was upset. I said no. They called me a spoiled brat. My aunt stepped in and went off on them in front of everyone. My brother, furious he wasn't getting his way, tried to spit on my cake. My aunt blocked him. He ran crying to my mom. My parents took heat from every adult in that room and promised they'd never pull something like that again. They lasted exactly 1 year before breaking that promise. 2 weeks before my 14th birthday, my parents sat me down at the kitchen table. Calm voices, serious expressions. They told me they were still getting me some gifts and a small cake at home, but the party was canceled. No friends, no celebration. They couldn't risk my brother having another meltdown watching me enjoy myself. They said it like it was completely reasonable. Like they were explaining why the grocery store was out of something. Total indifference. I didn't yell. I didn't cry in front of them. I just looked at them and said I couldn't believe they were doing this, and they basically shrugged and walked away. So I started talking. First it was my friends at lunch, just venting, genuinely upset, not even thinking strategically about it. Then my homeroom teacher asked why I seemed off, and I told her. She looked uncomfortable in a way that told me she knew that wasn't okay. My school counselor found out next and pulled me into her office to check on me. The vice principal heard through the counselor and came to find me personally to say something. Within a week, I had told practically everyone in my orbit, and none of them thought it was normal or acceptable. Then it hit social media. My parents found out through Facebook. Mutual friends, parents of my classmates, family members who had been watching this dynamic for years. All of it surfacing at once. Their phones were going off constantly. Messages, calls, people asking them directly what was going on and why they thought that was okay. They came to me furious, grounded me on the spot, told me I had betrayed the family by airing private business, called it manipulation. So I told everyone at school I got grounded for being upset. My birthday got canceled. That doubled the backlash. Now people weren't just reacting to the original decision. They were reacting to the punishment for speaking about it. My dad walked into my bedroom one evening, arms crossed, jaw tight. He looked at a spot somewhere above my head and said the grounding was over early. Then he turned around and walked out. No apology, no acknowledgement of what they'd done, just the bare minimum to make the noise stop. I figured the party was still canceled because nobody mentioned it. My brother thought the whole thing was hilarious, rubbed it in every chance he got. Then at the end of those 2 weeks, my parents took me to my favorite restaurant. Surprise party. All my friends there. My favorite food. A PS4 sitting in a stack of presents. My dad had a look on his face my aunt later described as someone who just watched their wallet physically cry. Everything about it felt last minute because it was. The reservation, the gifts, the coordination. They hadn't planned any of it until the pressure became unbearable, but it happened. And when my brother started heading toward my cake with that familiar look in his eyes, my parents actually stopped him, physically stepped in front of him, gave him a timeout for the first time in years. My mom eventually had to take him to a nearby McDonald's just to get through the rest of the party in peace. I heard she spent an hour trying to coax him out of the play structure. Some lessons cost more than others.